So there's a lot of anti-ball feeling out there. I'm not saying I'm pro-ball, I'm not anti-ball, but I want to look at some data just to sort of put things into context. The March plan for the 10th of March, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying it's a negative or a positive, but you ain't going to oust the ball on the back of what I'm going to say. Ultimately, the guys are into a 2-year lock-in. Yeah, there's a 5-year plan there. So Karen Brady's come out and valued the West Ham at 800 million. I can't value the club myself, but if you think about Newcastle at 350, West Ham 800 seems a bit top heavy. I would put a valuation more near 400 million. I'm not an expert, but I would say half of what Karen Brady is saying. Now, if the clubs sell anywhere between 125 to 150, they pay 7.5% back to the government. Anywhere between 150 to 200, that's 10%. Anywhere between 2 to 300, that's 20%. And anywhere 300 plus is 30%. Can you see Gold and Sullivan selling with 30% paid to the government? It ain't going to happen. They're businessmen at the end of the day. Those guys put 50 million quid into the club from day one. They earn a lot of interest on the back of that. So it wasn't a gift, but they haven't put any money in since. And we saw a net profit in January. Now, put that into perspective. They have actually spent more on players than incoming transfers since they came on board. If you doubt that, look on Transfer Market, spend the hours that I've done, work it out. That's a fact. I'm not saying that's a positive. I'm just saying it's a fact. In January, they didn't get the deals done. There's no excuse for that. Now, I'm going to be rational about this. Carvalho, there was a 40 million offer from a Chinese club. They turned it down. I'm no agent. I'm no businessman in football. I get that these deals become problematic. They're not easy. I get the fact that as soon as a Premiership club is involved, they see the money, they see the opportunity. So I understand these deals are more complicated. There is a 30-day window. I'm surprised that business isn't done earlier. Dendonka's a good example of that. But these things happen. Sullivan didn't help himself saying, Alan, blah, 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 we wanted him, 25 million, etc., etc. It didn't happen. So it's of no consequence to you and I. They have always made it clear that they would sell out to a multi-billionaire if the deal came in. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what they've said. Let's rationalise this. At the end of the day, if you're a multi-billionaire, what would you do? Would you go in and buy a club that rates themselves at 800 million, maybe put an offer in for 400 to try and get it? Can't even sell their naming rights on the London Stadium at the moment. 400 million. Why wouldn't I go out and buy Wolverhampton Wanderers, which has already been done, 40, 50 million, put 40, 50 million into the club, get them back up to the Premiership, and then make it sustainable? That is a much better option. And if you look at historic deals, that is what overseas investors are doing. They're buying top Championship clubs, putting money into them, and trying to gamble on the opportunity of getting back into the Premiership. So I think we have to be rational about this. At the end of the day, Gold and Sullivan aren't going. That's a fact. Whatever we say, whatever we do, they ain't going to leave the club. They're West Ham fans, but they're also businessmen. They want to make money out of this. There have been a lot of promises that have been broken. I agree with that. I understand that. I'm a season ticket holder. My view of the pitch isn't as good as I thought it would be on the computer-generated screen that I saw at Stratford when I parted with my cash 2 years ago. I still part with my cash to go and see the club that I love. I think all the anti-feeling will be negative to the team, and I think we need to get behind the club, support the team. The key thing on this March is to make our feelings known that we're not happy with the way things are being done, and hopefully the ball will see that and change things and do things. But if you think that Gold and Sullivan and Brady are going as of tomorrow, that ain't going to happen, I'm afraid to say. Come on, you Irons.